so we can get them on.
Here it is, quiet.
Wait, we still got 10 seconds till we're on Facebook. Can we wait?
No, we're running.
Live from Chicago, Illinois, home of the world's tallest power outage, it's the Pandemic Talk Show, featuring TJ Shanoff and the Stay at Home Orchestra. Today's guests, Lily B, Andrew Knox, Marz Timms, and now for your host, the Sears Tower to my John Hancock, Justin Kaufman.
What's up? Welcome to the Pandemic Talk Show. Justin Kaufman here, live on Facebook and YouTube and all the places you get your streaming content through the Zoom platform. We have bent, like we're the Man of Steel, we just bend and steel to make Zoom into a talk show format. Pretty nice. We're like really cool office managers.
Yeah, it's always Casual Friday.
Always. Oh, it is essentially our casual Friday today because we're taking tomorrow off for a 6-day weekend for the Memorial Day weekend, which is I know what you like, Scott. That's your style.
I like a 6-day weekend. I think that's the way of the future. You know, it would revolutionize the world to have the 8-hour work day, the 5-hour work week. Compliments of the city of Chicago or the people of the city of Chicago. Why not a 6-day weekend and a 1-day work week?
I love it. Hey, new normal, right? That's a new normal. TJ Shanoff, how are you, buddy?
Hey! Oh yeah! Can't go on a vacation far away. I don't want to die of COVID. So many things that I want to say. But most of all, don't want to die of COVID. I don't want to lose my life to COVID. Come on, sing along, motherfuckers! I don't want to lose my life to COVID. It's a COVID para. Hold on, what? Okay, sorry. Are we on?
Yeah! There you go. That deserves a 6-day weekend right there, right? That's good stuff. That's good work. You put your work in today. I like it. There you go.
Wrote that while doing a midday poop.
Midday poop is the best time for something.
You don't have to go far, at least.
No.
We got a great show lined up today. Lily B's coming up in just a second. Marz Timms going to join us. Also, casting director Michael Peters, which is, honestly, one of the best in Chicago. Michael Peters has done so many great things, and just his bio alone is worth a couple seconds. We'll read it a little bit later. It's fantastic. Michael Peters, the casting director to the stars here in Chicago, going to join us to talk about the pandemic's impact on the casting industry.
He's renowned.
It's like, how are you, buddy?
Which one of us?
No, me? How are you?
I'm doing okay. I mean, I'm ready for Memorial Day somehow. I don't know what we'll be doing. Mostly just sitting around. Maybe I'll get lucky. We'll get invited to one of those Mike Pompeo dinners.
Hey,
right?
I'm pretty convinced Pompeo is Italian for Huckabee. But we're going to treat this like any other Memorial Day weekend. We'll make too much food. We'll make plans. It'll get rained out and we'll just sit inside and watch Narcos.
Used to be the Saturday or the Monday daytime baseball game. Memorial Day. It's always good for it.
It's a good weekend for baseball.
We're going to go downtown and protest the governor's stay-at-home order. Yes, we're bringing swastikas. No, we're not anti-Semites.
He's Hitler. He's Hitler.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Swastikas aren't just for Nazis anymore. They're also for morons.
You know you're in trouble when you're trying to explain your bit, your comedy. No, I mean he's it. Not I don't like Hitler. He's Hitler like that. You know you're done at that point.
I mean Hitler had some decent ideas, but no. What I'm saying.
Wait, don't go quoting Bobby Hull.
All right, question of the day before we get to Lily. What do you got for question of the day?
Question of the day. Okay, I am a voracious reader. I love to read books. I've read one book since February, and I've started another book. And I'm just having a hard time reading. I'm just wondering what people are reading in quarantine. I would love to know.
That's on our Facebook and YouTube. What are we reading?
Yeah, what are people reading? And you can comment on the Facebook Live. We'll talk about it. Justin, what are you reading right now?
Nothing. But the best book I have read in the last, I would say, decade is The Dirt by Motley Crue, which is the fantastic book. Have you read that book? Either of you guys read that book?
Is that fiction or nonfiction?
No, it's nonfiction, but it's the best book. I tell everybody because it's the best fucking book ever made. Okay, so these jagoffs write when they get a ghostwriter, but they do it and they write their point of view to everything that happened to them. So like if Nikki Sixx was dying on the beach, they all give their paragraph. I don't know where Nikki went, but he walked down to the beach and we never saw him again. Tommy was like, I don't know where Nikki's at, and Nikki's like, I was dying. It's the best. It's outstanding, and they made a Netflix show out of it, which was dumb as shit. But I'm telling you, man, The Dirt, Motley Crue, the book is fantastic. TJ, what are you reading?
Well, nowadays you get in trouble for saying Mein Kampf. Should we drop the Hitler stuff? Are we on?
We are.
You're live. There's two books, actually, I'm going to start. One is the Ben Folds Autobiography, A Dream About Lightning Bugs, that's finally on my coffee table. And another book by a brilliant author named Todd London called If You See Him, Let Me Know, about a young man's life with a father going to prison and interesting summer he had at summer camp, the same camp that I attended, actually, Haran Camp. It's a great book, and it's an interesting read.
Nice.
There you go. That's good.
Yep.
I used to read a lot when I was on GN. We'd have all book authors on all the time. But
I got a good one I'm reading. Nobody.
What do you read?
I'm reading the Battle of Lincoln Park, which is about the gentrification in Lincoln Park, late 70s, early 80s. Great book. I used to play 7-card stud high-low with one of the subjects of the book before he passed away. So that's sort of fun for me.
Who wrote that book? I feel like I know it. That's an interesting book.
A disservice to the author that I cannot remember their name, but one of the problems with reading on a Kindle is you don't have the cover there to just reinforce. Sometimes if you're reading a Kindle, you're deep into a book, you put it down for 2 weeks, you pick it up, you're like, what was this? And you can't look at the cover. You gotta go back.
Yeah.
And
Best thing about reading with a Kindle is warm dong.
That's right. It radiates your dong while you read. If you were worried about your phone not giving you enough radiation, Kindle will take care of the dong.
Kindle will take care of the dog. All right, let's get to our first guest. And if you want to comment about what you're reading, tell us what we should be reading coming up for this Memorial Day weekend. Do it on Facebook and YouTube. Our first guest is a great storyteller in Chicago, and I would say beyond just a storyteller. She is a curator, and I think one of the best Chicago treasures we got going. She does her show, The Stoop, and you can see her all over Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Lily B to the Pandemic Talk Show. Lily! Yeah. There she is.
There she is.
I'm good at this. I'm a pro at this, y'all. I'm such a fucking pro.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hey, y'all. Hey, I'm listening to y'all. I'm like, I am on the whitest show I have ever been on.
Oh, that's by design. It's by design. It's a new style we're doing here. All white. It's a whole thing.
I'm like, all these old white guys, man, I'm gonna lose
old.
Red.
I can't believe you say that.
Middle-aged.
Okay, middle-aged. Sorry, all these older white guys. I'm gonna lose Fred, yo. I'm gonna have to go out and like start a fight now. I mean, like, Lily's changed. Did you see what show she was on today?
Yeah, you're taking a hit here. This is your rep. Your rep being on with us.
Y'all some cool points today.
Yeah,
no.
How are you? How are you dealing with the stay at home, the quarantine stuff? Are you? I mean, you've been doing a lot of stuff on Zoom, as you said. And we'll talk about that. But how are you doing with just being in the house?
I'm loving it. Like, I'm probably one of the first people that gonna say this, and that really means it. Cause okay, so I'm a little immune compromised, meaning that like I have a thyroid thing that makes me somehow on that list. And I have a 23-year-old son because teen pregnancy. And but he's like now like laundry and groceries, and my employer picks me up and drops me off from work. I kind of prefer, I don't want to go back.
Yeah, right.
Back to that life where I was taking the bus and Ubers and doing my own laundry and doing my own groceries. Like, who wants to go back to that?
Let's
Nobody.
do that, right?
I'm living it up right now.
Do you see a difference between your son and the way he responds to this kind of stuff, and maybe people a little bit older? I mean, is he taking it seriously and sheltering in place? Or you're like, where are you going? He's like, I just go to this house party and I'll be back.
No, he went to school for molecular cellular biology.
So
he's one of these, like, he's trying to figure out, he's on everything, right? He's on like the CNNs and the cures and the what he learned in school over my head shit that I'm just like, all right, babe, figure it out. Thanks for the M95 mask, appreciate it. Because he's at a lab, he can get me one.
Oh, that's good. You got hook up.
Yeah, so I got hooked up. I can go take walks and not worry about it. But no, he's really like, gloves, mom, don't go out, looking out for me. And, I can't hug you, but that's no different than it already was. Go grown ass kids. But
you, as a storyteller, obviously you were doing a ton of shows, and I've been on bills with you, and I've seen shows, and you host shows. How has this impacted you? And has it been an easy transition to do virtual stuff?
For me, it was because I was doing Zoom for teaching, like teaching storytelling. So I was on Zoom for like 2 years before this all happened. And then when it happened, I was like, oh, then I'll just do, because my workshops are a lot like my shows. They're just kind of like freestyle, kind of, let's get on, so it wasn't really a big jump. But I always look at things like nothing happens to me, it happens for me, Lily. You have to look at, that's how I choose to look at life.
I love it.
And so this I felt was like, you needed this break, bitch. You needed this. You were doing too much. The world was just, you were on too many damn lineups. You were doing too many shows. You needed to take this break. And so I took it. And I've just been like, taking the advice of my son, who was like, activate your brain, mom. Stop doing stuff you already know how to do. And so I started like coding, learning how to like web development and coding and ethical hacking, and I'm taking advantage. Like, I don't want to go back to whatever the fuck that was.
That's awesome.
I'm
You're like an underground hacker. And like, that'll be your card. It'll be underground hacker / storyteller.
And I got a damn game develop or kickstart. Like, look, I'm doing all the things I want to do. And because that's what we got, y'all. We got carte blanche to do whatever the fuck we want, and then just blame it on coronavirus if we want. Like, just blame it on this thing. Shave my head and paint half of it yellow. Corona, man, corona. And everybody be like, yeah, corona, I get it.
Well, let's talk about the game that I played with you guys a couple of weeks ago, which was fantastic. A great group of storytellers you brought together to play a game that you're developing, and you got a Kickstarter for. But it's essentially a storyteller card game, which I just think is brilliant. So give us the elevator pitch here, because I mean, collectively we have hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, this is true, and this audience is so much money. So let's hear it.
No, you just basically get played the cards you dealt. You get dealt 4 cards. From the 4 cards, tap into your memories and just tell us about the memory that came up, and then together we will make a story. We will bring the story out, even if you don't think you can or have one. We all got memories. You can't deny that, right? So even if it's just a memory that's a minute long, we'll turn it into a 5-minute, 6-minute conversation of your life, and that's it.
But the cards are different themes, and I mean, frankly, I think this is $1 million idea, because you could play this with families. You can do however you want to do it. But the idea that, it's got to be summer vacation, it's got to be embarrassing, it's got to be blah, 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 go. And then you're on the hook to tell the story of some memory, and you don't have a lot of time to think about it. You don't have to, it's not really about the performance of it. And it's really about, in the moment, just being confident in making a choice. And it's so interesting. Great stories. Great
permission. It's giving people permission, because it's a game. And when you're playing a game, it's okay to, you know, like I can go to Mexico and get spun around in a chair while they pour tequila, you know, like that's right. I'm giving you permission to be a fool. I'm giving you permission with these cards to just say whatever the fuck you want, whatever comes to your mind. And that's sometimes what people want and need. And then you can just be like, but it was the cards. And I'm like, yeah, it was the cards.
It was the cards.
It
What's the plan? I mean, is the plan to do the Kickstarter to just give them out as a product? Is the plan to
Well, the
create
Kickstarter got funded. I got the money for it.
Yeah.
But then I got of course I got the Kickstarter happened. It's just a matter of now getting them printed because they were going to get printed in China, but that's probably not going to happen right now. It's on hold till maybe a little bit. We're looking for like alternatives to printing, but that's why I'm taking all these tech classes is to see about maybe making it a digital offering of some
All right.
sort. So
You know what? We should do this sometime down the line. We should do it or invite a couple more people and we'll do it as an episode of this. We'll just do the
Oh
whole
my
half
gosh.
hour. How fun would that be, right? Get these guys
Lily,
to tell stories.
We'll see if we can find a few more middle-aged white guys for when you come back.
please,
We'll see
please,
if we
because
can
y'all don't
figure-
have enough time to talk.
They're hanging out at the
Like,
dog park somewhere. There's a dog park somewhere we could find them.
Lily, where can we find out what you're working on?
LilyB.com. That's where everything
LilyB.com.
is. Everything's on LilyB.com. I did that website. See, I did all that. That's all
Look
me.
at you. Well, I could talk to you all day. It's
We
always a
could.
pleasure. Lily B, you can find her on social media and at her website, lilyb.com. The incomparable Lily B. Thanks for joining us on the
Thanks,
Well,
Pandemic
thank y'all.
Great to see
Appreciate it.
you.
Take care.
Love her. I love her. She does the stoop, which is great. And I think they do it at Rose's on the west side and on Grand or
Roses or
yeah,
Roses?
Rose's the Blues Club.
Yeah, Roses, the Blues Club.
Yeah.
Not Roses on Lincoln. Yeah.
No. But she's great. She came on. We did this great show called 20 by 2 that Andrew Huff does, which is a South by Southwest kind of. They started it there. You get 20. How's it work? 20 performers get 2 minutes each on one theme, and so the theme is, I forgot. Who do you think you are was the one that we did, and Lily was the first. You get 2 minutes. They time you, and then there's 20 people. Lily was the first person up, man. She slayed. And it's also amazing because the crowd's packed at Shuba's, and they're like Lily B, and everyone knows who she is. And it's like, yeah, it was awesome. It was like, I was like, what a rock star. We're in the midst of a storyteller rock star, and she continues to bring it. So great to have Lily on. Anyway,
Awesome.
and the card game was fun as hell. And it wasn't, I got in there, it's hilarious. It was the same day we had Mitchell Fain on, or when we had Mitchell on, talking to him. That night, she invited me to do this thing. I came in and there's Mitchell. It's like a double bill of Mitchell Fain, which is always.
You're on the circuit together.
I know, we're on the circuit.
There's a Zoom circuit. There's an
We're
online
on the Zoom
touring
circuit.
circuit. It's like
I know.
vaudeville, but less travel.
Not as much anymore. Now I feel like it's gonna be.
But is time
my-
really a concept anymore,
I
Justin?
feel like my computer's gonna.
I mean, it's almost 420.
Oh, there you go. You want to do
We just
that?
had a
Yeah,
420.
perfect.
But it's just the beginning for the cannabis industry, and grownin.com is the news and information resource for those in the cannabis industry and those looking to learn more. Grown In is a proud sponsor of the Pandemic Talk Show and a terrific place for you to learn about the ins and outs of Illinois' newest essential industry. Curious about MSOs, craft grows, and the latest industry news? Be in the know and get in the grow with Grown In. Subscribe today at grownin.com.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
grownin.com.
Nice. There you go.
Just stalling for TJ to get back from the toilet.
It is tough to do the show today because we had to bail on the end of Michael McCarthy's memorial. A great Michael McCarthy, Second City alum, who passed away a couple weeks ago. We talked about it on the show, but they had the virtual Zoom memorial today, which again, it's just amazing how so many things have changed over time. That those Second City memorials, when someone from the Second City family passes on, they will have big celebration wakes essentially on stage where people come on and tell, and it's a great thing to be in that room for the family and for the community. And they're now doing them virtually, and it was interesting to see Tim Kasarinsky and George Wendt and Joel Murray and others who were talking. We had to leave at 4. They're probably still going on here to do it, but it was interesting how many. I was thinking about the Grown In because Kasarinsky had an edible joke, and I feel like that's the future, edible jokes.
Edible joke at a funeral. And I mean, there's something about it, having the people from Ireland where Michael started a comedy festival, having Mark Beltzman is in Hawaii. You have people from all over the country. There's something to it. And I have to tell you that, I mean, maybe Pupuk and Ohoro, when my time comes, I wouldn't mind having an online one because at least nobody has to travel. Everybody gets to tell stories. You don't have to say, well, I can't make it, because you can.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But much love to Michael's family and
Yeah.
to Susan and Sophia.
All love. All love.
Yeah. All right, this is our next guest. We haven't talked much about the creative industries, specifically the acting industry in Chicago, and it made me think of Michael Peter Peters. You know Michael Peter Peters? Great casting.
My generation's Jane Alderman.
Your generation's
Yes.
Jane Alderman. He's been this bio is awesome. I mean, he's done so many great things. He has started. He's been casting since he was a kid. We held auditions for A New Dad at the age of 4. Sadly, that was an uncastable role, but he continued. He cast the film We Sold a Zoo, also a very Kirk Cameron Christmas 3D. Also did some television. You might have seen his work in ABC's Emotional Ninja Warrior and Yo MTV Broadways, which is great. And he also does some commercials. You might have seen his work, Free Money Guy in the question mark suit and the offensive Groupon Super Bowl commercial.
It's a good one.
That is a good one. I think
Timothy
it's great
Hutton's
time
excellent
to-
work.
Yeah, I think Michael Peter Peters needs to get in here now. Michael Peter Peters, welcome to the Pandemic Talk Show. Yeah. What a bio.
Hello.
There he
There
is.
he is.
Oh,
Michael, great to have you.
oh, my boys! It is so wonderful to be here. Happy to donate time.
It's great. So it's been, we haven't had a lot of time to talk about the acting industry, but I would assume that the casting industry has seen hardships as well.
They have seen hardships. This is not one of them. This is not one of them. It's been a boom. It's been a real boom. Casting directors often spend so much time casting, which I like, hand to him. But what we've gotten to focus on now is workshops, and that is where a casting director really can do their job.
So that's really what you do. You work on workshops and really teaching actors how to do auditions and to be in the moment when on video now.
Exactly. Yes. And so much equipment is now involved in self-tapes for these actors that I'm selling the equipment as well as answering questions, what color should my green screen be, things like that.
Right. And so I would assume that the actors are getting it. I mean, they're obviously taking your workshops. They're getting to feeling it.
Justin, I wish. Have you heard the adage, if you can do anything else, do it?
No, I haven't heard that one, but
Well,
it
you
makes
will.
sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Well, and actors can't. Actors don't have any other options. That's why they're actors. These people are DUMB, and that's why these workshops are so important. Now, we have many different prices, it's tiered pricing. For $250 an hour, you can take a 24-hour workshop, that's straight 24 hours. Part of it, you will watch me sleep. Or for $100 a day, that's a subscription service, you get first chance at buying these other workshops.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds like a plan. I mean, if I were an actor, I feel like I would take him up on that, right? Michael Peter Peters teaching a 24-hour workshop. I would do that.
Do you want to be an actor? Because I could sign you up right now.
We got all this work we're doing with the pandemic show. It's hard to.
Justin, we got 6 days off coming up. I mean,
Yeah, I know, but I got to read books. We got things we got to.
Life happens while you're making other plans.
What else would be a part of the workshop? I mean, if I was going to sign up and put my money where my mouth is, what else would I learn from Michael Peter Peters?
Okay, well, we have a wonderful workshop that's called How to Scream on Camera. And that is designed to get actors to play at the back of the camera. When you're on camera, you need to be big. You need to show the watcher what you are doing and feeling. It's not like stage, which is muted.
Right. No, I've heard. Yeah, it's a good point. I never thought about that. I mean, you really have to be loud because the microphone's got to be able to pick it up, right?
yeah,
These
TJ,
movie
that's
theaters
a
are
note
huge.
You should take.
Yeah. Say
Hey,
that again.
Michael.
Yes.
there's so many Dick Wolf shows in Chicago, Chicago PD, Chicago Law, Chicago everything. Will these classes help me if I wanted to be an actor, be a candidate for, like, say, a Dick Wolf show?
100%. I can get you cast as any member of Chicago Fire or Chicago PD. That's a guarantee. Now, my office is closed right now because it's in the walk-in freezer of Buca de Beppo's and restaurants aren't open right now. But if you come to my suburban house in Muncie, Indiana, I can teach you from my lawn how to get on these shows. Most of it, again, is being as large as possible on camera.
Like large in size, or are we talking about large in? Yeah.
Oh yes. You want to gain weight, whether it's muscle, any body mass. You want to be big on camera because it always takes away it makes you look skinny on camera. But also, yeah, acting big.
Michael, I have a question. It was pointed out to me very recently that I am both old and white. And I want to know, is it too late for me to get cast in things? Have I aged out?
This is where I get emotional. Because white men, especially older white men and affluent white men, have had it so hard in film and entertainment in general. And no, it's not too late for you. You can't give up on your dreams, because when you do, you give up on you. And I'm refusing to do that. If you Venmo me $500 right now, I will give you a 20-minute workshop as soon as we're off this call.
Wow.
Okay, what's your Venmo? So
Don't do it, Scott. Don't do it.
No? We'll talk off
It's
air.
Mikey PP 4.
Oh, we have a lot of mutual friends. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know all the actors.
Michael, let me ask you one last question, just about as we move forward past the pandemic. Will the casting industry change? Will it be different? Are you thinking of a new normal for casting?
Yes, there's a new normal. One, animation is dead. Watch animation now because it's dead. I'm DOA. Claymation will be big. I'm working on a claymation right now, a biopic. I shouldn't talk about this, but I'm going to. It is a claymation biopic about Terry Schiavo, and it's called Bedridden Hard and Put Away Dead. And it stars Honey Boo Boo's mother in the titular role of Teresa Schiavo. And it's all claymation. And claymation's going to be big. Also animals. Homeward Bound, Free Willy, Con Air, those animal films, those are going to be really big.
Wow. You heard it here first. Michael Peter Peters, one of the best casting directors in the business. And I can't believe you took us some time from your sheltered in place to talk to us today in a pandemic talk show. Michael Peter Peters, pleasure, man. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I will bill you.
That's great.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
That's great. Mikey P. 4.
Free Willy theme?
That's the theme from Free Willy?
The Michael Jackson tune, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I never saw the movie.
Free Willy 1 or Free Willy 2?
Never saw either.
Yeah.
I'm not, I think I was above the age for the target demographic when that movie came out.
Yeah, exactly. I think Def Leppard did a soundtrack song for that.
Did they really?
Yeah, because I once saw Def Leppard at the UIC Pavilion one time, and they're like, "This is from Free Willy 3. Have you ever?" And you're like, "Wow, what is happening?"
I must have really missed out. I didn't know they made a third.
Michael Peter Peters looks a lot like Andrew Knox from Second City.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the people call that out.
Very talented.
Very
Great
talented.
main stage alum, ETC alum, great guy.
Yeah, Andrew, yes. Michael Peter Peters, different guy.
It was nice to find out, though, after what Lily said, that we're still viable. We may be old, but we're still viable.
He got really emotional about that.
He really did.
Let's get a read in here.
Well, people are feeling more isolated than ever, especially families who are currently facing a cancer diagnosis. As the world's largest peer-to-peer cancer support organization, Immerman Angels provides free one-on-one support to cancer fighters, survivors, previvors, and caregivers anywhere throughout the world. Utilizing a unique matching process, Immerman Angels connects support seekers to mentor angels via phone, text, or email, ensuring nobody needs to leave the safety of their own homes. In these times of uncertainty and anxiety, the need for emotional and psychosocial support is absolutely critical. If you or someone you love is impacted by cancer, please encourage them to call 877-274-5529 or register online at immermanangels.org to get connected to someone who's been in their shoes.
That's great. All right, what do you got? Anyone giving us any reading recommendations online?
We've got a few things here. Now, I don't think we have a lot of readers. There's been a lot of chatter, but not about books. Adam Witt says he's reading People I Played Poker With by Scott Goldstein, which is a book I will someday write. He also said The Whitest Show You've Ever Seen in Time Out Magazine. He read that.
That was good, yeah.
Scott Cooper said, didn't the Beatles 6 days a week? Technically shrinking that down because of COVID. And he's reading a book called A Little More Less. It's a book about the relationship Les Paul had with former WGN radio hosts Steve King and Johnny Putman. I didn't know we could write books about our relationships with former WGN hosts, but I'm working on mine right now.
Right now, right? I know. There's a lot of that. There's a ton of the GN hosts of the 70s and 80s and 90s, Steve and Johnny included. The fandom for them
Big.
is off the charts, man. Like there are several books written about Bob Collins, Spike O'Dell, or Wally Phillips. And it's amazing because whenever you get on the air at WGN, it takes about 10 minutes for it to go, and you don't know, you're nothing like Wally Phillips. It's whenever when, like, you know what, Wally's Milt's rolling over in his grave, you get that a ton. You're like, all right.
That's always a positive from
Yeah,
your
it's
audience. Kerry Otulski's reading Armistead Maupin's Tales of the City, which is a classic.
There's a couple of good books coming out. I saw that the Haymarket guys and Martha Bain, and I forget off the top of my head the books that are coming out, but she's got a couple of great city ones that are coming out, like that are perfect for this time. We'll get Martha on and some others to talk about those books coming up.
Two quick things. Have you guys read the new Judge Jeannie book? I highly recommend it. It's written in screamy paint. And Justin, you're a WGN guy. You worked there for many, many years.
Yeah.
We're all Chicago guys. Is it fair to say no GN host left more of an impact than Ian Punnett?
Yeah, he did, right. You're no Ian Punnett. All right, our last guest is a good friend of ours, stand-up comedian, also founder of the great group Pimprov, one of the best in Chicago. I got a ton of questions for him. He's been doing a ton of great stuff with quarantine videos as well. Marz Timms. Give it up for Marz Timms. Yeah.
Oh, wait, I gotta get my video.
Marz.
Got it. There he is.
Hey, there it is.
What is behind you? What is this? What is...
This is in the ramen factory in Japan. So
only
a
one.
couple of years ago when I visited Japan and I went to the ramen museum. Delicious. You could go all around, eat ramen from all the different prefectures because every prefecture makes it different, and it was delicious.
I was loving following you at the beginning of this pandemic because you were in Thailand. You were doing a tour in Thailand. I'm like, when's he coming back? Is he ever coming back? What's going on?
I shouldn't have. I absolutely shouldn't have. The weather was great. The people were great. And the food was magnificent.
It was right at the beginning of everything that was happening. Were people freaked out? Were you freaked out at that time, like being outside of the country?
No. Well, people were like sending me messages like, you're never going to get back in. And I was like, I'm kind of fine with that. Things are pretty cool over here. Not as many people contracting it and all that other good stuff. So yeah, it was great being over there.
For you have been a longtime stand-up comedian, and you've made a nice transition. You've been doing a lot of stuff online before, but the doing the stage, we've asked comics all the time about, losing the ability to do live shows in front of a crowd. How's that impacting your comedy? Do you feel like you're jonesing for it, or are you like, nah, I'm good where I'm at?
No, you definitely want to get back in front of a live crowd and things. It's tough. Before I got on this, I was doing a thing for Bike the Drive is having a big event this Sunday called Laugh the Drive because they're not doing the biking part of it this year. So I was recording for that, and it is tough doing your jokes for an audience that you can't see or hear. it was pretty much me doing it and then taking a break and yelling at myself like, you've done these jokes a million times. What's wrong with you? And it's just, you don't have that energy of a room full of people, even if they're just going, that's
Yeah. It's so weird because you think you're bombing. You think like you do the joke and you're like,
yeah, it's like, I hate every joke I've ever written now. I'm like, this shit is not funny. I don't see what people have laughed at. This isn't going well.
what do you do? Okay, so we've been doing this on the show for a while, but we've been doing a quarantine workshop. So are you coming up with quarantine jokes? Do you have new jokes? And if you need 3 middle-aged white guys to bounce off of, we're the guys. That's what we're here for. You know, we could be your audience.
I was laughing my ass off watching all of this before I came on. Yeah, you guys talking about the books that you're reading and all that other stuff. I was like, wow, am I reading any books? The Zack Snyder cut of Justice League is coming out. I was just reading
A year
that.
from now.
Yeah, it's a year from now. No, I was watching The Last Dance. That's what everybody in Chicago's been doing, and just like getting all teared up, like,
I know, right?
Jordan and Pippen. Yeah, no, I was working on my international stand-up. My international stand-up set is what I was working on before all of this happened. Like,
What's an international set? Like you're making Taiwanese jokes? What are you doing?
I was making my Thailand joke because I was talking about how I get why a lot of men go to Thailand, because, you know, a lot of them go there because of the prostitution and everything like that. And I was like, I get it. I completely understand why guys go to Thailand. But for me, it was for a completely different reason, because for years I've actively tried to get women to have sex with me, but being over there in Thailand and having women want you and like, hey, you want sex? It was good to be able to turn women down and use all the reasons that I've had over the years that they've given me, like, no, I don't want to have sex with you. Now I can give them that same treatment. So I would just walk down the street and they'd be like, hey, you want to have sex? And I'd be like, no, thanks. Too short. Hey, you want to have sex with me? No, thanks. Don't date black guys. Hey, you want to have sex with me? No, thanks. I'm on my period right now. I gave every excuse that a woman has ever given me to not have sex with the women on the street there in Thailand. So it felt good to turn the tables on them.
Yeah, you really stuck it to the street workers there. That's really got him. You got him, Marz.
I'm singing them. That's right. I really stuck it to them without sticking it to them.
Are you doing shows then? I mean, you're doing this Laugh to Drive, which is this weekend, and then are you doing Zoom shows and stuff like that?
I'm doing Zoom interviews, no Zoom stand-up. I'm working on a couple of pilot projects, if you will. So I've been filming stuff like that and doing a lot of writing and putting shows together. So that's what I've mainly been working on, and then working on my social distancing while walking videos that I post to my social media, my Instagram at Marz Timms, and Facebook.
Every Tuesday, right? Is it Tuesday that you put them out?
What's that?
Tuesday you put them out Tuesdays? Yeah.
Every Tuesday. Yeah, every Tuesday I put out a new one. So
my last thing, if you have not seen, if you've never been lucky enough to see Marz stick it to Greg Holloman, it's the best thing, like going on the Greg starts to needle at Greg, and it's fucking great. It's great. I don't know why. Your chemistry together is great. You're just yelling at each other. It's great.
Yeah, he's my favorite person to travel with. For years we traveled to do shows together, and he would host and I'd headline, and just Greg's like, we're like yin and yang. He's this huge black dude, and I'm like this little short black guy, and he gets done with this like big presence on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Greg Holloman. You may have seen me on Strangers with Candy with Stephen Colbert. And then I come on, it's like, hey, everybody, big round of applause for what Uncle Ben on a box of rice would sound like. Yeah.
It's great, man. If you've not been in a position to hear the two of them together or see them together, you should. Marz, always great to have you, man. Good luck with the Bike to Drive thing this weekend. Goldie's got something.
Yeah, before Marz leaves, I just want to bring this up because Michael Peters talking about casting. Marz and I, a lot of people don't know this, and I think we talked about this on your radio show, but Marz and I once played twins in a show.
Yeah.
We
I
did play twins, and we decided the day of the show that we needed, instead of just a prop bottle of whiskey, that we would use a real bottle because we're not going to drink that much. We're just going to have a little bit in character.
Little.
We drank. It turned out it was a Booker's Barrel, and it was like 120 proof. And midway through the show, we just stopped doing our lines and just started talking about what was happening in the house, what was going on in the show. We were the narrators.
Yeah, we were like off to the side, and we were so wasted that people were just like, what's really going on over here? I mean, there's a show going on right here, but these two are just having way too good of a time over here.
And at one point, we were at the old annoyance. This is like 1998. Rosanna starts to move over, and we just keep talking. And poor Jimmy Fitz didn't know what he's supposed to do with that spotlight. My father comes over after the show, and he comes up and he just grabs like the whiskey we're drinking, smells it, and goes, "Oh God, you two fucking idiots."
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Your dad was amazing. And that really touched me. I'm drinking right now.
Is that the beer somebody almost stole from you?
Yeah. They dropped off some beer yesterday because they're a sponsor of Bike the Drive. So I had to put that in my video, and some guy was gonna steal all of my beer.
What?
Yeah.
Caught him
right
in the
off
act?
porch.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I got to it just in time.
Yeah, there you go. Marz Timms, great stand-up, great guy. Great to see you, buddy. Good luck with
Great
Laugh to
seeing you,
Drive
Marz.
on Monday, man.
All right, you guys.
Sunday.
My
Stay
twin.
safe, man.
Goodbye, my twin.
All right, there you go. All right, how about it? All right, well, that's it for the Pandemic Talk Show. Before we go, today is the final day for our producer, Mike Fouché, who is leaving the Pandemic Talk Show. He and Brad Pearson, as part of Grown In, have been a big part of launching this show. And Mike has been the producer. Today is his last show. So Mike, turn on your audio and your video. So we can see.
No video. No.
What are you doing? You don't have a shirt on? There it is.
There.
Oh, that's what you look like.
Mike, you want to say thank you for doing this, getting this off the ground, and doing the dirty work of all the tech stuff. And it's a lot of work, and we appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much. Straight from my porch to the internet. Glad to be here.
You know,
All right.
a little like Bette Midler did when Carson retired. I just want to say, Mike, in the arms of an angel. This song's usually for pets who are gonna die.
I can't tell if that's a treat or a threat. I don't know which one that was.
A little from
They're both-
column
they
A,
can be
a
both.
little from
They can be
column
both.
B.
That's right. So anyway, great work, and of course
Thanks, Mike.
we'll continue to collaborate. But Mike is leaving the show, and we will be back. Okay, so we will be back Tuesday, right? So we got
Yep.
16 in here. So join us then. The Pandemic Talk Show saying have a great Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you. Thanks, Mike.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Mike.
He gone.
Got a great lineup of shows for next week. We'll be back with 3 shows: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time.
We're closed.
Are we out? Are we done?
Hold up.
All right. Are we live?